I listen to, I don't know, man. I haven't really listened to music in a couple of years. I don't really know what's going on out there. I know Beyonce's made some albums. Those are probably pretty freaking sweet. You can really know someone through their art better than you could really even in sitting and talking with them. Yeah. Because if it's good art, if it's good art, then it's expressing, you know, their deeper whatevers. So you have standard language with which you can express standard thoughts, and then you have more complex languages with which you can express more complex things. And so if you have a big emotional event, then it isn't adequately expressed by standard words, and so you need to move into the realm of art to really feel like you're getting out your thoughts.
Music, I guess, comes so naturally to him. As far as how quickly he'll write lyrics and how, I mean, that's one thing. How quickly he'll write lyrics, how often he writes songs, the quantity of songs that he writes. But on the other side of things, how his musical abilities kind of seep into his everyday life and the songs that he'll make up, just about everything.
Yeah, there was like a real creative process to Liam's practice, because it was essentially practice every single day and every single part over and over again until it was like just the perfect right sound. And I think that was really something that was unique to Liam.
The thing with me, it just kind of like pours out sometimes, and then you just like, and then you put the pieces back together. But you know that you don't want to mess it up too much because you can't recreate that burst, the thing that first gave it to you when you just came across that first little hook or lyric or whatever, and you're like, ooh, 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 that's the thing. And then you just, pew, pew, ah, hello. You know what I mean? Cool. Then you have a song.
I mean, I know that when he's been in dark places that he will go and write songs and record and use that as an emotional outlet for solace of sorts. Yeah, it's a tool.
When you get sick like that, you do feel emotions that are totally unnatural, but also are not things that other people could experience, thankfully. Those things often create emotional events that are way more significant than than is really natural at all. You know, like there's sadness, and then there's depression, and then there's happiness, and then there's mania, and then there's, I don't know, people doing acid, and then schizophrenia. I don't know, you know, whatever. But you go into those depths or those highs, the emotional event is way more serious than anything else, and so it's only adequately expressed through art, which is really unfortunate, honestly, because those things are just disasters, and they really, really hurt, and it seems like it's almost a cool, good thing, like, oh, he was like so depressed, and then there was this like beautiful album, like Elliott Smith killed himself, like that sucks. That's a huge bummer. It's not cool. People romanticize alcoholism and drug abuse and like all of those things, and they're just nightmares. And so I wanted to make an album that actually was interesting and provocative and memorable, and so I started to get a little bit vulnerable. You know, just about loving and then not loving. No longer all the purities run dry. Look in the cellars. No heartache. No one looks you in the eyes.
water there. Still unsure and unable, building homes in waves of gray.
That's the thing with Liam and his music that I've always known, is that it's always been a really interpersonal thing for him, because, you know, after knowing Liam all these years and playing music with Liam all these years, you know, sometimes he'll still have songs that are so personal to him that he still can't even show, like, you know, some of his best friends. But, you know, I understand that, and that's just, you know, probably the best way he can channel his emotions into like an inner diary and a dialogue of sorts.
Into the falling, I remember when it started, when she said hello, something awoke, I felt a warm light, but I can't find words for it. I can't find words, but I'm holding on, I guess, to realize that they didn't make words for this. They couldn't find words for this, so let me just dance with her. Oh my darling, I just wanna dance with you.
About this album is that it was the first time I was really making myself vulnerable in any way. All the lyrics I wrote before were pretty, yeah, they weren't risky. I wasn't putting anything out there that I wouldn't be comfortable with. Yeah, Radiohead, holy cow. He says things better than I could say them, and I relate to them so heavily that I feel like he and I have been best friends since the dawn of time.
I think it's going to be very good, and I think it's going to be very good for him. What Liam has been intending from the start, I think, or he has needed to from the start, release something that reflects on his abilities on their own, as far as just being something that is 100% creatively him.
The same body now has holes in the heart. When she said goodbye, something died and she took it with her. She walked out the door with it. She walked out the door of a home built inside a soul, now forever vacant. That will never be warm again, but tells of the times we spent high up above the clouds, people in